Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Let's take a look here at Bitcoin, see what's going on. We're going to jump right into the back-end liquidation data. I ask you kindly to always hit that like button. Every single video really helps grow the channel. I deeply appreciate that. I'll keep this good content coming your way. Now, when it comes to back-end liquidation data, it's important to understand that we are getting closer to that $96,000, $97,000 resistance range. The longer we stay in this range, so there is potential to break to the upside. We have a lot of bullish type of ascending higher highs and higher lows in smaller time frames that are kind of reflecting we see a push towards 96, 97. So there's that potential reality. Plus this liquidation here reinforces that incentive for the whales to sweep those late shorts or perhaps early shorts. Either way, there's a chunk of liquidation up there. When we see here though on the macro, while there's not a tremendous amount below or even above, it's not like it's a significant margin. We can see there's two specific areas that are very heavy, about 96.5 and 96.7. So quick wick up to 97K seems practical at this point, but it's hard to say specifically, mainly because when we look at liquidation delta, this has changed a lot. Honestly, from Friday, if you saw my analysis on Friday, we had $35 billion in liquidation long delta at this point. Now it's at break even. What does that mean? Well, break even basically just implies that bulls and bears are equally interested at this point, and there's no definitive direction. Okay, so it's kind of like not a very comfortable place, if you will, because I prefer to have some kind of insight on where the price is going. Having said that, though, open interest does kind of reflect that we have more resistance above us, 95,000. There's a lot of position at that level, so people are averaging into 95K. All the more reason why that's more likely than not going to work as a resistance for us. So I think 95,000 is slowly becoming that resistance level for us. But if we look here at this local range here, just kind of give you some perspective, we can see the most amount of open interest at 93,700, 93.7, and then also 94,700. So 93 and 94.7, kind of like that little support range there for us. So that does imply that we have some support below us too. Okay, so those are all good and bad things depending on how you look at it. Now, when we take a look at the daily time frame, there's not much has changed here from yesterday. Roughly the same scenario. We're printing a doji candle here so far, basically implying there's indecision. We can also recognize too that there's resistance here at about 70 on the RSI. Money flow index is above it though. It does imply that we could see further upside. We got some strength in here, but we've been testing this resistance range for a while now, and it is technically a rising wedge pattern too. And while I don't like to trade patterns alone, because obviously you want to make sure that there's convergences or divergences concurrent with that, we can see that we've had difficulty crossing this rough estimate of 95,000, 95.5, and then we're establishing higher lows. It seems contradictory, but the truth is this works itself out to be a bearish type of pattern in most cases. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see the price action pull back here soon. It just makes sense for us to see that, but it also makes sense for market makers to wow people and to get some late longs to jump in at 95,000, which is probably what's happening right now. So all that being said, 4-hour time frame, we got kind of a mixed bag of nothing great here. The truth is RSI is coming down while the price is going up. That is typically a bullish type of convergence. Some refer to it as a hidden bullish convergence, which I really hate that term because nothing is really hidden. It's just obviously our oscillators are cooling down and the price is going up. But the price isn't going up monumentally and the amount of volume is still below that moving average. I'm not super convinced that we're going to see a breakout here. And you can also see too as well, just keep this in mind, altcoins not responding well to this kind of plateau. Right. And a lot of it kind of comes from Bitcoin dominance going sideways, and anytime Bitcoin pulls back by a small margin, altcoins are significantly pulling back. So I would say that if you're going to do anything, maybe avoid trading Bitcoin, but consider shorting some altcoins. That's just kind of the overall consensus here that I see. It just feels like altcoins are they're ready to flop, if that makes sense. Other than that, the hourly time frame doesn't give us too much indication. Yes, we're above the cloud here, but this isn't like a super clean breakout. Anytime you're fairly well range bound, which we are, you're going to get some false positives here, and this doesn't really tell us too much. So the hourly time frame is not very indicative of any type of reversal or continuation. So I know it's not necessarily what you're looking for there, but that's pretty much how the charts are communicating to us today. This is what we see here so far. It's kind of just a mixed bag of garbage. And I'm going to hold to the premise that I feel Bitcoin is going to continue to retrace, or start to retrace rather, just based on how weak it's looking here in the short term. We see the price staying right where it's at with slightly increased volume. this isn't like super substantial. I don't think that's going to go too far. But you also got to recognize market makers are pretty uncanny about how they manipulate the market. So there's a solid chance that we do see this upper liquidation range just quickly swept and then right back down again. So we'll see. We have to see a lot of volume to flow in here in order for us to break through this resistance though, which I don't see just yet. All right, folks, thanks again so much for watching. I appreciate it. And to those who have been liking the videos and commenting below, really appreciate you doing that too. That's super awesome. If anybody wants to become a better trader, obviously cryptocash.tech is a site link down below. Thanks for the awesome feedback too on our shorts. That's been a lot of fun. Those are available obviously on Twitter, Telegram, and Discord, but I've been enjoying making those shorts, and I'm glad that people are enjoying them as well. So, all right, folks, hope you have a good one. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Thanks so much for your time. Take care out there.